What's up, everybody? Yeah, we're going to be talking about genres of video games. So, what is a genre? Well, in video games. So, what's a genre basically? A genre, from like basically a short and dumb example, is basically how there's like rock and like country and like music. Well, genres and like games, all that kind of follow the similar scheme. Man, how they have like their own subgenres. So. Well, and here's like the example that you find online of a genre. If you want to pause and read it, you can. Well, the first genre we're going to be talking about is adventure games. Adventure games is a video game genre that specializes in physical challenges, including hand-eye coordination and reaction time. Adventure game subgenres are platform shooters, beat-em-ups, fighting, stealth, survival, and rhythm. Of course, for example of a platformer is Sonic Adventure Battle or Sonic Adventure 2, and for a shooter version or shooter subgenre of action games is Destiny. Yeah. Next up will be action adventure games. Action adventure games is mostly frequently into two game mechanics, game on quest or objectives. Sorry about that. That have to count using tools or items that you collect, as well as active elements where the items are used. So action adventure or subgenres are survival horror, Metroidvanias, adventure games, text adventures, point and click, you get visual novels, interactive movies, and real-time 3D. So, for example of a action adventure is Middle-earth Shadows of Mordor, and for a Metroidvania is Super Metroid, and of course the Castlevania part of it become from Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Next up will be role-playing games. Probably the second most popular video game genre, role-playing games are RPGs. Mostly frequent medieval or fantasy settings. RPG subgenres are action RPGs, MMORPGs, roguelites, tactic RPGs, sandbox RPGs, first-person party-based RPGs, and others. There's a lot of RPGs, and for a good example of a traditional RPG I think of is Fallout New Vegas. And of course, there's Valkyria Chronicles 4 is it for a tactical RPG. Next up in the games, simulation games. Games that simulate genre are one of the most common. They are all designed to emulate real or fantasy realistic or simulation of real scenarios or events. Simulation games, there are quite a bit, but the ones that I would be focusing on are live simulation and video simulation. For example, Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a farming-based one, and it basically simulates real life. So next up is strategy games. So strategy games, I'm just going to bring this up here now, are games based on traditional strategy board games or strategy games giving players the godlike across the world and its resources. So strategy subgenres are 4X, military, real-time strategy or RTSs, real-time tactics RTT, multiplayer online battle arenas or MMO, MOBA, or I don't know, tower defense, true turn-based strategy games, war games, grand strategy war games. So, for example, from like a tower defense is Plants vs. Zombies. There's others, but those are the ones I know of. So next up is sports games. Sports games are basically sport games simulation of sport like golf, football, basketball, baseball, and soccer. Subgenres is racing, team sports, competitive, sports-based fighting. So, for example of one is from a sports game is Super Mario Strikers, and for a racing one is Mario Kart. Next up is puzzle games. So puzzle or logic games are usually taken place on a simple screen or playfield and requires the player to solve a problem, advance to the action. So subgenres are logic games and trivia games. Of course, a good example of one is Portal. Next up is indie games. So as technology continues to push for impossible and new gaming, as gamers and developers push to confirm of new genres of game genres, or new genres are created all the time. And of course, subgenres of this is indie gaming, casual gaming, party games. There's quite a bit. So I'll leave this up for you to read the rest. So question of the day: what is your favorite genre of game? Mine is RPGs and adventure games and action adventure. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you enjoy the video in itself. See ya.